Hey guys, what's up? Welcome to today's video. Welcome back to my channel. So today we're going to be doing a makeup and mystery. I don't know if you can tell, but my skin is like so messed up from having taken makeup on and off of it so much. So this is going to be the one and only look I do today. But I am going to be filming other videos in this look. So I hope that don't bother people. But anyways, let's get into it. So today we are doing the case of Ross and Cooper Harris. And this may also be known as the hot car death case. So this case is kind of intriguing because obviously we know Cooper Harris, who was a 22-month-old little boy, same age as Kai, died a horrible death in a hot car. The question with this case has always been, did Ross mean to do it? And I'm curious as to what you guys think when you hear the information. So Ross usually would take Cooper to daycare on his way to work, and they would stop at this like Chick-fil-A, and he would bring Cooper in, and I mean, they actually have video surveillance of Ross and Cooper at this Chick-fil-A on this day. And what's crazy is that Ross would actually usually make a left at the intersection outside of this Chick-fil-A when he would leave this Chick-fil-A, but on this day he went straight, and he went straight to his office, his work office, which actually happened to be like right down the road from this Chick-fil-A. And Ross would usually send his wife and Cooper's mother, Leanna, pictures of Cooper as Ross dropped him off at daycare. However, about 2 weeks before the incident, he stopped. Suspicious? I think so. Anyways, so Ross parks his car and goes to work. And what happens next? Obviously, Cooper gets hot because, you know, cars are a lot like ovens. They get hot pretty quickly. I mean, you can look up multiple videos on it. And what I find intriguing is that apparently Ross actually came back at like 12 o'clock out to his car and brought like light bulbs. And I find it hard to believe that he didn't realize Cooper was in his car on his way to work or at that time. But at I think it was 4:19 was when Ross clocked out. He gets in his car, there's surveillance, you can check it out. He leaves his office parking lot, and he goes down the road, and he only got like about a mile or so down the road when he saw Cooper in the car and realized Cooper was dead and pulled off, and that is when we got the 911 call. Cops say that Ross's behavior was weird because there was somebody else doing CPR on Cooper, and Ross was like walking around like on his phone. He was walking around on his phone. But his wife Leanna, he did not tell Leanna about this because Leanna is like searching, because Leanna would usually pick up Cooper from daycare, and she didn't know Cooper wasn't there, so she goes to the daycare, finds out Cooper's not there. She thought Cooper was first taken from the daycare, and then goes to Ross's work and can't find Ross's work, and that's where she found out off the TV when a police officer calls her, and they say that they're gonna come get her. So I do think it's a little suspicious that Ross was on his phone and not telling his wife what was going on. I mean, I can definitely attest to, if I was in that situation, I probably wouldn't be doing CPR on Kai or Jaxson. I would be freaking out. Like, I would be standing next to them, but I would be freaking out. Like, what do I do? What do I do? What do I do? What's going on? Are they okay? Blah, 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 blah. Like, things like that. Like, I would be a blumbering mess. And I, honestly, to God, probably would be useless in the situation. Maybe even make the situation worse. Just by freaking out. And anyway, so they tell Leanna that her child is deceased, and her behavior was also suspicious to the police officers because she actually said, after they told her, she said, "Where's my husband?" And that's really suspicious, but they were never actually able to prove Leanna had anything to do with this. So, next, they obviously arrest Ross. And this guy had the balls to complain about his handcuffs being too tight. And then, after complaining about his handcuffs being too tight, he complained that the police car that he was in, was too hot. When his child just roasted to death in his car. Anyways, they take Ross to the police station, and that is where Ross and Leanna are reunited, and the couple is filmed, and you can check it out. And Leanna has been scrutinized for her behavior. I think that on top of, you know, the police, like what she said when she found out Cooper was dead, is really what set police onto her, thinking she knew that this was going to happen. But she said to Ross, "Did you say too much?" Which, I mean, people, like I said, have really scrutinized her for this. Because, I mean, like, it's just weird. So, Ross gets arrested for Cooper's death and goes to trial. And that is where everything came out. So Ross and Leanna end up getting divorced, and Leanna actually testifies for the defense for Ross as the star witness, I guess you could say. But anyways, so what came out during the trial is that Ross was actually texting with multiple, like 9 different people, 9 different women, including an underage 15-year-old. Way to go, buddy. On this day, stating how unhappy he was in his marriage. And he, like, apparently wasn't happy with being a father, even though he was said to be a really good dad to Cooper. Really cared about him. At least that's what Leanna testified, was that Ross and Cooper were really close.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
But he was cheating on Leanna virtually and physically. He had cheated on her. And that is really, I think, probably the biggest evidence that convicted him. Was really the cheating and him stating to multiple people that he was not happy with his life. And I don't think he said he wanted to get out of it, out of his marriage or anything like that, but he had clearly stated to multiple people that he was not happy in his life, and said something along the lines of he loved his son, but sometimes they just needed a break, or they just needed an escape or something like that. And Ross actually gets convicted. But again, Leanna says that she hates Ross and he ruined her life and things like that. But she did testify that he was a good father, and she didn't think he had done it on purpose. She did say Ross was a forgetful person. But the prosecution's theory was that Ross wanted to get rid of Cooper because he basically, like, wanted to pursue a new life, which I kind of believe. I mean, like, a lot of people were on the side of Ross when this first happened, because apparently this is super common, and it's called forgotten baby syndrome. And I don't know how. I mean, I have 2 children. I don't know how it is possible to forget your child. I mean, 9 times out of 10, Kai is crying in the car. He does not like to be in the car, usually. And yes, he has fallen asleep in the car before. Like, I'm not gonna say he hasn't, because he has. But I still subconsciously know my child is there. I mean, I guess I could be wrong. Like, I could be a different type of mom, a different type of person, but I've never forgotten Kai or Jaxson in the car. Neither have my parents. My dad did forget me in the car once when I was a baby, and I remember it. I went to the store with him, and he just literally, like, we pulled in the driveway, and I was in the car for like 5 minutes, if that, by myself. My mom came. I remember my mom coming out, and my mom tells the story. It's hilarious. And my dad still, to this day, if I bring it up, feels horrible about it. So, in conclusion, I do think that Ross was looking for a way out, and he, maybe when he realized what had happened, that he had succeeded in it, he felt bad about it. And that is why he had been saying, oh no, oh god, what have I done? I do think that maybe he realized once he had gone through with it that he felt bad. And then he realized he was probably going to go to jail when the cops like arrested him like right then and there. They did not believe his bullshit. So there is that. So another thing that had came out during the trial was that Ross had actually been looking this up, like this stuff up. He had actually seen a video that you can actually look up on YouTube of a doctor that had actually tested out the hot car and sat in it for like 30 minutes, and it got to almost 120 degrees. Now, granted, he did this to show you what would happen to your pets, not your kids, but Ross had seen this video, so he definitely knew the dangers, and I think he'd seen it like 2 days before this happened, which was another thing that the prosecution used against him, because he's watching and researching this. I highly doubt you're capable of forgetting this if you're researching it. And Ross, even in his interrogation, talks about how there was a guy who had done this. And what I find suspicious is Ross goes, just like me. Just like me. He's just like me. I'm just like him. I forgot. And this guy is now an advocate. Now, I understand being tired with newborns, but Cooper was 2 years old. Actually, 22 months. 2 months from being 2 years old. Like, let's be completely honest, Cooper is probably sleeping through the night at this point. So Ross could not say that he was tired, because I know most people, like, it's more or less for newborns that don't sleep through the night. I mean, I can attest to that. When Jaxson was first born, he had his days and nights mixed up. It was horrible. It took us months to fix it, and my parents actually physically had to stay up sometimes on nights with Jaxson for us to get it corrected. Like, it was so bad. And that was my parents helping me out because I was so tired. I mean, I understand being tired, but no matter how tired you are, I just, like, I find it so hard to believe you can forget your child in a car. I think that Ross did actually want out of his marriage, and he researched this and concocted it and thought it would be the best way to get away with it. So yeah, I think he is in jail for the right reasons. I actually think he is in jail for like the rest of his life, which is good, because he was sexting a 15-year-old. Anyways, I want to know what you guys think about this case, and I also want to know what you guys think about forgotten baby syndrome. Alright, I'm going to end this video here. Hope you guys enjoyed, so like, comment, subscribe, and ring the bell, all that social media great stuff. I'll see you guys in tomorrow's video. Bye, guys.